Hello everyone, Xana here again, and welcome to part 2 of my capture card tutorial video. And in this part, I will be demonstrating how to set up your capture card and what various software you can use to capture the footage off of your game console. Now let's get started. Here comes segment 3. Welcome to segment 3 of my capture card tutorial video part 2. And yes, this is segment 3 because I'm continuing off of my capture card video part 1. So, in this segment, I shall be demonstrating various methods on how to set up your capture card using two methods that I know of. One, and this is very simple, all you do is take any VCR or any TV that has video output. That means it's got an extra set of composite jacks going the opposite direction. You take any TV or VCR that has an output and use that for your capture card. Here, I'll demonstrate. Now, this method requires you to have two sets of AV cables. One can be any sort of plated. The other should be gold plated for your capture card. Now, what you want to do is plug one set of AV cables into your video input, like so. Alright. Next, you plug your other set of AV cables, preferably gold-plated, into your video output. Wrong one, but whatever. Like so. Now, the one that is going into your VCR/TV is your game console cables. We're using standard AV cables just for this demonstration. Pretend that these are your game console cables. You plug them into your video input, and then you use your extra set of AV cables, and your extra set is the one that goes into the capture card, and that's how you capture the footage. Bleh. This is a very easy and very simple step to use. Now, the TVs of today, the LCD TVs and the plasma screens, do not have outputs. This is one major feature I hate about TVs of today. If you don't have any outputs on your TV either, for those that have SD TVs and just don't have outputs, VCRs are really easy to find and they're really cheap, and that's pretty much all you need to do to have this method. And it's really simple. You take your game console, plug it in, take other set of AV cables, go straight to your capture card. And this has the best results for quality I can think of. It's preferred that you have both gold plated, but you know what I mean. The quality varies. All right. Next I shall be demonstrating how to use splitters. Okay, this method of setting up a capture card requires splitters. Now, question 1: what is a splitter? A splitter is something that diverts one video signal or one audio signal down two ends, and they come in two different versions or variants. This is a female version. It comes with a hole on the bottom, and it diverts it down two ends. And a male does the exact opposite. Okay, two video signals go in here, and they come out this way, except this would have an end kind of like that. Alright, so what you do if you have females, this is the only one I have. I've got 3 of females, so this is all I can use at the moment. Take your game console AV cable, does not matter at this point. You take your game console AV cable and plug it into the bottom. Next, but by the way, this requires 2 sets of AV cables. You take one set of AV cables, and they have to be color correspondent. You take one set of AV cables, plug it into the top, and you get to choose where this one goes. And pretend I have another set of AV cables, which I don't, and pretend this is yellow. And then you take another set of AV cables and plug it right next to it, and they'd all be the same color. Alright, one of them is going to your TV, the other one is going to your capture card. Preferably, the one going to your capture card should be gold-plated for the best quality. If you've seen some of my earlier Modern Warfare 2 videos, you will notice there are lines going across the video. That is because I was not using good quality AV cables at the time. and that is why it sucked. So this is pretty much it. So just a reminder, game cables, this one goes to your TV and the other one goes to your capture card, and it couldn't be more simple, and you have to do this for all three of the separate cables. You know, the white, red, and yellow. Alright, on to segment 4, which is actually capturing the game footage. Okay, welcome to segment 4 of Capture Card Tutorial Video Part 2. Now, in this segment, I will be covering how to actually use your capture card in terms of capturing gameplay footage. Now, let's get started. First off, make sure your capture card drivers are installed. I cannot emphasize that enough. If you can't find them or your disk got busted somehow, go to the manufacturer's website and go download them. Or they're probably off on the internet somewhere. Do what you must. So, first off, what do I use to capture my capture card? Now, if you have a Dazzle, it automatically comes with Pinnacle Studio, so you're covered there. But if you don't, actually, all capture cards do come with their own software, but the thing is, they're usually crappy, or they just don't work, or they don't meet your requirements. So, automatically, as I said, Dazzle comes with Pinnacle Studio, and you can also use programs like Windows Live Movie Maker. And if your laptop has a built-in web camera, the software that captures your laptop web camera, that can also be used, as well as Manicam and a bunch of different other programs. Like, the thing is, your capture card is also recognized as a web camera, so you can use it through programs like Skype or AOL Messenger or Windows Live Messenger. You can use it pretty much like a normal web camera, although Sony Vegas does not pick it up as a web camera for some stupid reason. So, going back on topic, let's take a look at Pinnacle Studio. Now, this is Pinnacle Studio 14. If you have an older version of the Dazzle, like the DVC 100, by the way, this is the DVC 107. If you have the DVC 100 or below, it'll come with an older version of Pinnacle Studio, but the concept is pretty much the same. All you do is press import, and if you have your Dazzle plugged in, it'll automatically switch to your Dazzle instead of a web camera or something else like that. Now, by default, it'll automatically be on composite, but if you have S-Video, just click that, and that makes it even better. Now, you're wondering, how do I make this 16 by 9? Simple. Press that, click that, you're done. And you can also adjust the video settings for the brightness and the color and the saturation and other stuff like that. As well, for people living in Europe, you can set it to PAL or whatever the hell this setting is. Pinnacle Studio is a great program to use your capture card with, but the problem is, for people that hate their software that came with the capture card that isn't Dazzle, and they want to use Pinnacle Studio, it does cost a little bit of money. But there are other alternatives to that. Like I said, Windows Live Movie Maker actually does capture stuff. I've recently discovered this while testing out my capture card, if it's being used for a web camera. So here's Windows Live Movie Maker. Let me close out of Pinnacle. Alright, so how do I capture through Windows Live Movie Maker? All you do is press, okay, first off, you need to set your capture card as the main web camera. You go to options, you go to web camera. Here's where you can choose the microphone and the available web cameras, but for some reason it does not pick up the capture card as an audio device, so you're gonna have to figure that one out on your own. Let's see, yeah, switch your camera over to your Dazzle. It'll even say the name, and then just press webcam video, and here you are. Like I said, it does not capture the audio off of the capture card. I have no idea why. It just does that. This is actually a great program to use for commentaries as well. And all you do is just press record, and once you're done, you can, if anybody's used an older version of Windows Movie Maker, the concept's pretty much the same. Now, like I said, you can also use this as a web camera. So if you have any other native web camera software on your computer, all you do is press that. This is Web Camera Companion 3 by ArcSoft, and then you press capture.
by default, this will automatically go to your web camera, kind of like so. Yeah, like that. But all you do is go to whatever options it gives you, wherever they may be. Probably this. Yeah. And then switch it over to your Dazzle. Press OK. And there you go. It's really as simple as that, and I'll even show you how to use this with Windows Movie Maker 2.6 and below. Actually, scratch that. I just tested it. It does not work. Yeah, so screw Windows Movie Maker 2.6. If you have 2.1, that's even better. So this concludes my series of capture card videos. If anyone else has any questions, just leave a comment below. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.